It's virtual CES 2021 at Geekazine.com. Continuing coverage, CES 2021 virtual. Jeffrey Powers here. We are here with Yuji. Did I pronounce that right, Yuji?
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. And you're here with, the name of the company is called Aeterlink. And your company out of Japan. And tell us your role and then what Aeterlink is all about.
Sure. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Yuji Tanabe, CEO and president at Aeterlink. I finished my PhD study 10 years ago and I joined Stanford University as a research scientist and study biomedical implant. What's biomedical implantable device? We research for the very small, tiny device inserted inside the body through the catheter or the needles, and those small device requires to drive the electrical stimulation by the power, in which the coin battery or small battery cannot operate such a small size, which is the grain of the rice. So how to deliver the power is we study for the wireless powering from the outside the body. And then we accumulate a lot of knowledge from there. And then finally, we know how to do the more efficient way to wirelessly power the mid-range to long range. And then
so this is wireless power, 360 wireless power,
right?
Inside the body.
It's from the technology is coming from the inside the body, but we are focusing for the industrial application.
Okay. So this isn't a medical thing. This is for industry to pass power from from the power source to the device needing to be charged.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. It sounded really cool if it was medical, like keeping pacemakers charged or something like that. But and I suppose this technology could be used for something like that.
Yes, we have several applications in our mind and already start working with several companies that use for the factory automation. What they want for the wireless powering is because there's a robotic hand and then there's a bunch of sensors on top of that. Right now, there's a wire to the sensors, but if the robotic hands is keep moving and then wire breaks because of due to the heavy rotation or the movement.
Yeah,
so
what am I thinking of? Four-wheel device rolls over a wire, it can break it easily.
Exactly.
I can't think. I'm trying to think of a forklift. That's something like a forklift or any type of industrial device, or even sometimes stepping on a wire. You could easily break it if it's too cold or whatnot.
And once it's break, the technicians coming in and has to fix the problem and then need to wire through the robotic arm. This costs more the labor fee, and then the factory line has to be stopped. So that's why there's a huge needs to be wirelessly powered to the sensor, and then the sensor doesn't need to be replaced very often, which basically for at least a couple of years has to be operated without any maintenance. That's the idea coming from. So our wireless powering can reach more than a meter and up to 17 meter range, which is quite
1 meter to 17 meter range.
Yes. It depends on the receiver size and also the applications.
And how much power are we talking about? How many is there a certain amount of volts?
Transmit power is 1 watt. So transmitter power is 1 watt, and the receiver power is a few milliwatts. So if you want to obtain a few volts, like let's say 3.3 volts, and you can receive roughly a couple milliampere.
Okay, so
if the duty cycling, then you can of course get more higher power in the short interval. But I'm talking about the average power is a few milliwatts.
Okay, so what type of machines could this power at this point?
So basically, we can only deliver small power. So it's more for the sensors. Let's say MR sensors, which can detect the magnets, or the temperature sensor, humidity sensor, CO2 sensors, those kind of sensors. And we also can do the two-way communications, which when you detect the sensors, signals or either the number of the temperatures, and then it transmit back to the stations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in all reality, if you had a device, you could probably separate it. So the main device is running on some sort of plugged power, but then all the other stuff could be running on this wireless type power to kind of keep that all charged up as you go, if you needed something like that.
Right.
Okay. And how is there any type of obstacles that if people are walking through or something like that, does that disrupt the charge?
It's really a good point. Of course, it's wireless, so if people walk, there's a reflection wave. It affects for the receiving power. So one of the biggest problem for the wireless powering is instability of the receiving power. Okay. So our unique technology is one of the. We have several patents already filed, and but. We have several antennas which can receive any orientation. Basically, it's more robust compared to other wireless powering companies do. So that's our IPs.
Okay. Technology doesn't reflect. So if you had, like, let's say 2 sensors that were trying to be powered, and something got in the line of sight and reflected to the other one, it wouldn't overpower the other device, would it?
It depends on the situation. So, of course, if there's some other metal things and they reflect back, and it's sometimes overpower because of the power is not only for the one way, but also the reflecting back, coming back to the sensor eventually.
So because you don't want feedback loops at all, causing problems, definitely, because then you don't have any power going through it. So okay, so how long have you been developing this technology, and is it ready for market yet?
So total year we developed almost 2 to 3 years. We fabricate the first chip, and it was operating no problem. And we are at prototyping stage right now, and then we are thinking the mass production for perhaps the earliest this year or early next year. Okay. And once that model works well, then it's really going to one chip solution, which may take another 2 to 3 years to comes to the market. But,
okay. Of course, you're here at CES. Was there any idea of what you were planning, what you're looking for at CES? Are you looking for investors, distributors, or anything like that?
Right now, we have the government funding and already have the revenue, so we don't really, in trouble in the funding situations. But of course, if we have more big business than the market, if we have clear vision, then of course we can raise funding. And but first of all, we have to probably increase our valuation. And if we have a good timing, then we can do the big funding, raise funding.
So what was your focus? What's your focus for CES then? Just for awareness?
For our focus for CES, we try to look for the other application because we already have the factory automation and the building management, which can be used for each segment of the desk or table that people are sitting on. And then right now the building management companies try to rent out by each desk so that it can be more clearly define the renting business model. But we also try to expand not only consumer or the industrial application, but also more futuristic, such as haptic device, which is we think it's has more great future because it's combination with the AR vision and also touching. So it requires all over the technology, not only engineering, but also chemicals and then maybe medical and digital, of course, AI, and those probably in the future, this kind of direction must be good place for the business, we think.
Okay. All right. So Aeterlink is the name of the company. It's AETERLINK and you have the .com, but if that's not working, you have .jp for Japan, and they'll be able to get to the page from there if they have any questions, and we'll go from there. So, anything you wanted to add before we close this up?
We have several good slides so that didn't show today, but if I have time, then I would like to share with audience.
Okay, if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact Yuji and the team over at Aeterlink, and we'll go from there. So, Yuji, thank you very much for your time. You have a great day. I know it's like late at night for you for tomorrow, technically, in Japan. So thank you very much for spending time with me, and you have a great CES.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot for watching this video for the CES Virtual by Geekazine. If you're over on geekazine.com or youtube.com/Geekazine, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care.